We shall see. Alright. Hold up, guys. Hold up. Hold up. That's falling. That's better. Now everybody can see me. That's going to be beneficial if this is going to work. Welcome in, everybody. Alright, let's see who's going to jump in today. Got the first few people popping in. We just started the live about 15 seconds ago. So if you're looking for advice, you need some clarification in your life, trying to reach the best version of yourself, feel free to throw any questions down below. I've helped over 100 men and women in my coaching practice transform their lives, so we're here to help you guys out too. Any questions are welcome. No topics are off limits for stuff that you're struggling with. So welcome in the first few people. Let's see when we got the first question popping in. We'll take this off. Dog, remember when I told you the baddie wanted to study with me? I do remember. What happened? What happened? Do we have an update? Do we have an update for the situation? She said she's busy, and she already said, all right, that's not good. That's not a good sign. Not a fantastic sign. She might not be interested. Contemplating moving abroad for a job offer. I'm so torn. More money, but leaving all I know. Friends and okay, you're leaving your friends and family, but you can still be in contact with your friends and family. It doesn't mean you're leaving them behind in your life, just temporarily and location-wise. So here's the thing: if this is your dream job, this is going to not only help you make more money, but help you reach your goals and make you feel fulfilled. There's also a new opportunity to be in a new culture, to meet new people, to experience a different type of life that you've never experienced before. So that could be the exciting part of it. So obviously it's there's pros and cons to everything, but you're not leaving behind your friends and family. You're still going to be friends. They're still going to be in your life. Maybe a little bit less temporarily, but see where your dreams align with this, man. And if you're struggling to make the decision, you've got it. Feel free to shoot me a follow and a DM about it. We could always dive into the more details. It's so goofy. Only my luck would mean a yes and then a flake. I mean, look, dude, it's not your luck. It's just that she's not interested. There's women that are interested in you, and there's women that aren't. That's completely okay, right? If it's not working, let it go. Is more money worth being alone? No, it's not. But here's the thing, Oslo. You're only going to be alone if you choose to be. You can go up and meet new people, right? You don't have to be alone. Starting off when the first few days you get there, sure. But you don't have to stay alone. That's a decision. Buttons is back. What's going on, Kate? You're quite introverted? I mean, yeah, it's scary. I used to be super introverted too. Now I love talking to people, and it's done wonders for my life. You can do the exact same thing in Oslo. You're struggling with that? Shoot me a DM. I'll help you out with this. Should you go for medicine? Meaning like to school for medicine? Is that what your question is? I confessed to a friend I love him, and he told me to take a chill pill. Well, yeah, because this is your friend, not a romantic interest. When men and women are friends and you develop feelings, it usually doesn't end well. That's why I'm in a relationship and I don't have friends that are girls. And men and women being friends gets very complicated very quickly. So it's usually what happens. So he doesn't like you. Gotta accept it. What's going on, Billy Bob on YouTube with the troll comments? For school, hey, if you want to go to school for medicine and it's something you're passionate about, go for it. If you don't want to do it and you're just doing it because of expectations, probably find something else. Do I speak Spanish? I do not. Yes, more money allows more freedom to do things to meet people. That is correct. But also, you don't need money to meet people. Just walk outside your house, go to a gym, go to a park. Like, you can meet people anywhere. But I see what you're saying, Andrew, and I do agree. My ex broke up with me many times. I finally didn't fight, and okay, we can't talk about that. So yeah, Essen, your question, we can't dive into that on here, so please shoot me a DM about it. How do I tell a girl I like them? Or tell if they like me back without saying anything. How do you tell a girl you like them? You have to initiate flirtation and see if she flirts back. If she doesn't, if you give her a compliment and you say she's cute and she's just like, oh, thanks. Not interested. If she's like, oh, thanks. You too. Or she continues the conversation, she might be interested. So you don't tell a girl that you like her. You show her and see if she reciprocates that. If she doesn't, stop pushing and move on. More money also alleviates financial stress, most definitely. You have more money, you're more likely to take more risks. Absolutely. Yeah, of course, Essen. Yeah. Shoot me a DM about it. It's just because of I guess you could say, the algorithm and the rules on TikTok. We can't talk about that topic on here. Yeah, of course, Lane. And Lane, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about this, I did a whole lecture on why men and women can't be friends. If you're interested in that, I'd love to send it over to you. Usually doesn't end well. What are these? What's going on, everyone on YouTube? Let me move you guys closer on YouTube. Hold on. There we go. Now you're right next to TikTok. There we go. Hold on. Hold up, guys. Hold up. Now we're focused again. Oh, hold on. Why do we keep moving? All right, there we go. Let's see. What's next? What does it mean if a guy stares at you constantly without blinking? He's probably physically attracted to you, if I had to guess. Most likely what's going on. Brianna said, I needed that, thanks. What are other signs I can see if she likes me? Reading her body language. Look, here's the thing about eye contact. If she's a little bit more nervous, she still might not look at you directly. But girls ask you questions, and she wants to be around you if she's interested in you. Yeah. Q, you're funny. It's a funny comment. Oh man, dude, these troll comments are just getting funny. You guys make my day. At this point, it's like, oh my god, look at this guy trolling. Now you guys just make my day. Keep them coming. You're awkward. You're only awkward. Yeah, Q, gotta get me a real barber. Give me a recommendation. Yeah, Samuel, what about you do you feel like is awkward? Right? Because oftentimes your awkwardness is self-created. It's your perception of yourself that you cast on to other people. How do I feel about that, Archer? We're not going to answer that question. How's my day been going, Jagger? Doing good. How's yours? A little bit tired. Welcome in, everybody. Feel free to throw some questions down below. We'll help you guys out. We got TikTok over here. We got YouTube over there. My girlfriend is mad at me because she takes naps. I take her debit card in her purse and go on Amazon. Yeah, that's probably why she's mad at you. Where am I at? I'm not going to reveal that just because I don't know who you are. So I don't tell people exactly where I live. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Feel free to ask any questions down below. I've helped over 100 men and women transform their lives, so we're here to help you guys out as well. Any questions are welcome. How am I supposed to find your barber? I guess you can't, man. How to get self-confidence. How to tell if she's straight. I don't know if you can really... You gotta initiate flirtation. She'll tell you if she's lesbian. How to get self-confidence. You have to start to connect yourself a little bit connect to yourself a little bit deeper. Imagine yourself, ask yourself this question. I can't read your name. It's not in English. If I were confident, what would the most confident version of myself be doing every day? What would his thoughts be? What would his actions be? What would his relationships look like? Paint that picture for yourself. What would that confidence look like? And then break it down to a very small action step. Maybe it's, hey, I got to get in the gym more. Go to the gym 45 minutes tomorrow, right? Whatever the case is, break it down to a small actionable step. That's a really good place to start. And GM, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about like where you feel like the confidence is lacking, would love to dive into it with you. Headhunter on YouTube said, are you Christian? I am not, but I do love the biblical narratives. Very beneficial. System development of 9 years, feeling depressed and just want to live in the middle of the woods alone. You probably don't want to live in the middle of the woods alone. You probably just don't feel connected to what you're doing anymore since you've been doing it for 10 years and it's draining you. You can only do something for so long that's draining you until you feel super stuck like this. So the question is, What would you do instead for work? You may not have the answer exactly right now, but start to do an exceptional amount of research in your free time to do that. And there's going to be a lot of other little things to start to make your relationships better too. And big B, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about like where all of this is coming up for you, would love to dive into it further. MN said, "What does it mean if a guy talks to his friends and they all turn around to look at you and smile?" That could mean a lot of things. He's interested in you, or they're all interested in you. I don't know how old MN. How old are you? Are you under 18 or over 18? So I got to be careful with what I say. What does your mother think about what you said about my parents support the work that I do? But you misinterpreted what I said. Did they make fun of you or something? I mean, I don't know what the context of the situation is, so it's always possible. You're a good man, thanks, bro. Yeah, of course. Okay, you're 20 years old. Are you in university? Like, is this a guy you're talking to? Have you had a conversation with him? What's the situation? What advice could you possibly have on dating? Well, I have been through many failed relationships, and I'm in an exceptionally fulfilling relationship with my girlfriend now. Actually, a more fulfilling relationship than I've ever seen another human being be in. And I don't say that to be egotistical. I say it to show you guys that the advice that I'm giving you is worked out and it's constantly being integrated and incorporated. I also have 3 other coaches in my coaching practice, who hypnotherapist, licensed therapist, marriage counselor. So we all know our stuff. You're in university, you're in the same class, but we've never had real interactions. Okay, if you're in university, you're in the same class, I would say, I mean, look, I would say usually it's the man's job to do the initiation to start to come up to you. Go up to him, ask him what his name is, start to have a conversation. Yeah, you aren't friends or anything. Yeah, just initiate the conversation. Yeah. Tyler's comment on YouTube is wild. Bro, this is the type of people that like join these lives. You ready for this? So cynical. Like Tyler, you're like you need help, brother. He said, "I don't know, man. The way you dress and talk, you're on a live stream basically talking to a bunch of people. That is what I'm doing. She's probably cheating on you right now. Actually, my girlfriend is on her way to my house right now, so she can't possibly be cheating on me. Also, is it really that hard to fathom that real relationships exist? I mean, look, brother, I know you've had it rough, and that's completely understandable. But shoot me you're on YouTube, so you can't shoot me a DM. But if you're looking for actual help, so you can actually find a relationship partner, shoot me a subscribe, bro, and just look at some of my videos, so you can stop complaining and actually make some progress, because I'd love to help you do it, genuinely. What's your YouTube name? The comments are better there, seems to be. No, Tommy, the comments are not better on YouTube than TikTok. They are not. They're better on TikTok than they are on YouTube. But my YouTube name is Mighty Brad, same as TikTok. Welcome in, everybody. Feel free to throw some questions down below, guys. We'll help you out. Any questions are welcome. Any questions are welcome. Well, welcome in, Tommy. Marty, what's going on? Is this the Marty? I don't know if it's you. Is 5'11" tall? Yes, it is. 5'11" is very tall. I'm 5'6". I'm quite short. But like a lot of men say, oh my god, like I'm too short. I've never had a problem with women. And most women are shorter than 5'6", right? So it's like a lot of the guys are like, oh my god, she'll only like you if you're 6'4". It's a lie. It's a lie. You're watching too many videos on social media. Tyler, you love rage baiting? It's fun? Yeah, it's fun because you have no passions. And I hope you find them. Welcome in, everybody. Feel free to throw some questions down below. We'll help you guys out. Any questions are welcome. I've helped over 100 men and women in my coaching practice transform their lives, so we're here to help you guys out too. Any questions are welcome. All right, let's see. Who's got the next question? Yeah, 5'11" is definitely tall. Definitely tall. For sure. Any advice for someone who's never been in a relationship? For sure. All right, so you've never been in a relationship before. You want to establish what your values are. What do I connect to? If I were in a relationship, how would I want them to treat me, and how would I want myself to treat them? Now, I'm not just talking about like we're nice and we're kind to each other and we don't argue. Like, no, I'm talking about the deep components. Like, I show up for her in this way. These are the things we're doing for each other. We're constantly providing safety and security for each other. We're planning things out. We're spontaneous in our relationship. We're constantly keeping the emotions high. The honeymoon phase that everyone talks about. It's not a temporary thing. You can nurture it to be an everlasting thing. I think that's required to be in a fulfilling relationship. So it's a good place to start, Caden. And also, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM, I can shoot you over some lecture material I have around like when you're first starting dating, what to look for, best advice for a first date, stuff like that. So I'd love to help you out with it. How to get out of the cycle of just dreading the work week and getting blank every weekend. Okay, yeah, there's actually a really good question, John, because this is the reality a lot of people are existing in. So, if you're dreading the work week, you probably hate what you do for work. So, the number one piece of advice I would give to you is start doing an exceptional amount of research on your own time of what you're going to do instead. Because if you're not passionate about it, you're not gonna start liking it anymore. That's if you change that, you're not gonna want to get hammered every weekend. It's in the escape of that, the escape of reality that you feel like you need to just go out on the weekends, right? So you want to find something you're actually passionate about. It may take some time, right? So, but understand the work and the job you're utilizing and working now is going to be propelling you forward to then find out what that is. So it's a temporary thing, right? Acknowledge it to be that and start doing an exceptional amount of integration and exploratory habits around finding what you do want to do. And that'll be a really good first start for you because it's an overwhelming thing to interact with. And John, if you want to shoot me a follow and DM about what you're really going through on a deep level, would love to dive into it with you. Those black pill videos ruined my self-love. Absolutely, because black pill is very destructive. You feel like you're the ugliest guy. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm looking at your profile. I can't see your face, and I don't know if this profile picture is actually you, but you look like you go to the gym very often and have a nice physique. So the black pill stuff that you're paying attention to, you need to get out of your head and into reality. Because no woman that you will ever meet is thinking to herself, his chin isn't this exact measurement and his nose isn't 100% perfect. Guess what human being's face is 100% perfect? Nobody's. Are some people more attractive than other people? 100%. But there's always things you could do to increase your looks, and that's an important thing to do. But don't forget about the other qualities about you and what actually make you you, which is beyond just your physical looks. So if you're going to subscribing to the black pill, you're just going to look at your looks, and that's essentially you're taking away from the value of who you are, and that's kind of you ruining yourself. Nye said, "I miss my ex." Okay, don't run away from those emotions. Allow yourself to feel them, but also reflect on the reason as to why you guys can't be together and why it was toxic and why you separated. You can acknowledge the positive things and take those into account, but there's a reason as to why you're not together anymore. Do not forget about that. And the emotions, the grieving process, don't run away from that. How to make wise or best respond to someone who called me sick just because they didn't say what they want. If somebody is calling you sick because you disagreed with them, that's not really a person that has an open mind that you could even have a conversation with, right? If they're that closed-minded, distance yourself from them. But again, I don't know if this is a family member, who this is for you. Mandy said, I care almost nothing about looks, worry about your character. Yeah, I mean, look, of course looks matter, but when it comes to personality for women matters a lot more than looks. The other way around for men, looks usually come first, and then it's personality. But women care about your character. And if you're developing that, and also developing the way you look too, you'll do just fine. Nothing to worry about. What's going on, Isaac? How are you doing? I think we were connecting in the DMs yesterday. Oh, these are good questions coming in. Hold on. Brad, so me and my dad were in a fight, and he said sorry and said, let's do something next weekend. What were you guys fighting about? How do I deal with existential nihilism? Good question. Nihilism is a step in your philosophical journey. Do not make a home there. Allow yourself to question things. Allow yourself to feel the, oh my God, maybe nothing matters. Don't run away from that experience. Keep researching more philosophy and religious and spiritual qualities, habits, integrations, concepts. That will take you out of this. I went through nihilism too, trust me. I went from atheist to nihilism to I don't believe in a particular religion, but I'm very spiritual. I'm almost certain that there's something higher here. So keep going on your journey and don't stop here. That's the mistake that people make. How do I deal with someone who's avoiding? You want her back. I mean, look, if she doesn't want to talk to you, stop trying to get her back. You can want to get her back, but getting her back wouldn't do you any good. If she doesn't want you, you're just creating a more destructive space and relationship for yourself, right? And again, ask yourself, why do I want somebody that doesn't want me? That's based on insecurity. You feel like you need to fight for love. You feel like there need to be toxic components in it. This is not true. It's a narrative that your mind creates for itself. Look, you're attached to this person. I'm not going to take away from that. But you guys broke up for a reason. Don't forget about that. And again, for her, this story, like, you don't really know the reason. But again, if she's not going to be honest with you, stop trying to pursue it. You guys are worth more than this. Why is my ex running by my house lately? He misses you. I don't see any other reason. Hello there. How do I start a healthy life? It's a good question. Well, getting your physical health in tune is a good place to start. Looking at what your purpose is, what you're passionate about, what you want, what you're curious about, what you want to create. These are really good places to start. That's like the general self-help. But like one thing I started with, gym, running, walking, connecting to nature, cold showers, no FAP, philosophical concepts, finding things I'm passionate about. That was where I started my self-development journey of missing or starting to get to a healthy life. Hey, appreciate the rose. Men's mental health. Appreciate the follow. Let's see. Hold on. We got some more questions coming in. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to get to all of you. Just give me a second. Appreciate the gift, applesauce. It means a lot. You were fighting because you were in a bad mood and you didn't feel good. Yeah, but you were in a bad mood and you fought. Like, what's the actual context of the situation? If you don't feel comfortable throwing it on here, Rhino, just shoot me a DM about it. Much love to everyone in here. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay blessed. Love y'all. Mental health matters. Absolutely. Appreciate you popping in. Hey, Brad, nice to see you. How are you? Doing good, Sonico. How are you? You have a friendship question. Sounds good, Julie. Throw it down below. Give me advice on how I can get over this memory. What is the memory? Our date was fire. Why does it not let me... Our date was fire, but then he left in secret and just launched a new date on Instagram. Why? When you say launched a new date on Instagram, you mean like another girl he's going out with? Can you clarify that question for me? The GOAT, what's going on? Nilo, what's going on? The greatest of all time, Mighty Brad. Much love, bro. Much love. Much love. How do you forgive yourself for doing something? You're trying to forgive yourself. It depends on what you're trying to forgive yourself for. You have to understand that you are not the same person as you were yesterday, or maybe you are and you feel guilty about that. That's why you're stuck on it. So you have to actually change the components of and sometimes this feeds into your dark nature, and you feel like you can't control yourself, your anger, your frustration, whatever the case is. That you need to do an exceptional amount of reflection on. And it's like, hey, what part of me feels like it's okay to do this? What part of me rejects this part of myself? That you don't want to, you got to pay attention to that. How to grow my business. What business do you have? I have a situation of a friend, and she stops talking to me, and I forgave her, and I see her in church. What should I do? Should I say hi or ignore her? You're saying she stopped talking to you and you forgave her. What do you mean you forgave her? Why did she stop talking to you? Stephanie, if he launched another girl on his on his Instagram, block him on everything and move on. Stop trying to get him back. There's no reason to do that. I'm doing good, feeling confident so much. Me and my boyfriend have been flirting a lot lately. Good. You guys are getting back in tune with each other. I like it. Do you think she'll ever come back? If she said she won't, what's the common pattern? If she said she's not going to come back, she doesn't want you. Something you need to accept. Now, just because she doesn't want you, it doesn't mean you're a bad guy. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means this relationship is not going to work out. Average Gamer on YouTube, thank you for the $2 gift. Can you crack? Is that a troll comment? Is that a troll comment? I appreciate the gift, man. Did you ever become addicted? Absolutely, Frank. Absolutely. I did. Actually, then went a year and a half without doing it. Helped me get exceptionally in tune with myself. Shoot me a DM about that. I've done a lot of lecture material on it. ETA 522. Okay, sounds good. Looking forward to seeing you. Why though? I don't understand what went wrong. I mean, look, he was probably dating multiple women at once. Even if your date went well, he wasn't being honest with you, and he chose someone else over you. Don't beat yourself up over it. Frank said, give me advice. You have to... I mean, look, your sexuality as a man is not easy to tango with. It's constantly being pulled in different directions. People like to demonize you for this. It's a part of your biology. It's not about controlling and constricting it. It's about leading it towards the right avenues. Right? Average Gamer, appreciate the $2 gift again. Brad Sahur? Well, what is that? I don't know what that means. What does Sahur mean? I don't know what that means. We broke up because her parents convinced her. She wasn't willing to fight for us. No contact is so hard. Raphael, her parents convinced her. How old is she? I think the hardest part about it is I see her every day and I can't help it. Yeah, definitely if you go to school with her or something, that makes it a lot more difficult. How to grow a beard? You got to get your testosterone up. But at the same time, some men just don't grow facial hair. Like I naturally do, and I have to shave. But one of my friends, he just doesn't grow facial hair. Just doesn't. Right? And where all of our genetics are different. Day 2 of quitting ZA, any tips? Yes. Get really connected to why you're putting it down and what you want to come of this, and start to incorporate better habits for yourself that are going to get you more in tune with yourself and make you feel pleasure in a natural sense and feel more connected to yourself. And Masi, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM about the real deeper components of this, walking me through it, would love to dive into it with you further. If this person made so many promises, but it's not worth fighting for, am I not worth fighting for? No, that's what I'm trying to say to you, Isaac. Just because somebody made promises to you and didn't keep them and lied to you, it doesn't mean that you're not worth fighting for. If somebody kept promises but here's the thing. We got to get certain things in our minds, right? What's a classic thing people say in relationships after they're with each other for a month? I'm so excited to be with you forever. You guys barely even know each other. You're making that expectation. So if you're talking about promises like that and your relationship lasted 6 months and they were like, oh, I promise I'll be with you forever after knowing you for a week, they shouldn't be making promises like that, because you shouldn't. You don't know somebody into that much. But also, if they're people being dishonest with you, it's a reflection of them. She changed her number, but I would ask her questions. Hey, do you want to come visit? And she said, I didn't get the rest of your comment. Every guy on the dating app only wants blank. Yeah, it's definitely, dating apps are rough. So you got to cycle through those people, and also meeting people in person is optimal. My mom really wants me to drink for the first time on my 21st, but I'm scared because of family history. If your family has a bad history of drinking alcohol, and then your mom is also on top of that trying to promote you to do it, and you don't want to do it, don't do it. That being said, if you're legal, like you're legally allowed to do it, like sure, take a drink or two. But if you don't want to do it, there's no need to be pressured into doing that. You don't have to do that. I'm 22 years old. I don't drink. Like I mean, I've had some once in a while, but I've never been drunk in my entire life. And I don't know if I ever will be. It's just not something that appeals to me. So just because other people do it doesn't mean you have to. You changed her number so she stopped talking to me, but I see her in public. What should I do? She changed her number just in general. You see her in public. I mean, do you feel like she wants to talk to you or no? So we don't want to force anything here. Sonico said how to nicely tell her no. Say, hey mom, I appreciate the recommendation. I just don't want to drink. You don't need you don't need a deeper explanation than that. Diego said, has someone ever asked you a question you didn't have the answer to? If the answer is yes, what was it? Definitely. I mean, I definitely don't know everything by any means, shape, or form. I'm always learning. But what comes to mind is a question that somebody asked me. Oh, yes. Losing people is something I interact with people with, like grieving. But somebody who's in their 60s or 70s, and they met their wife or husband when they were 15, and they've been together for like 40 to 60 years, and their partner passed away. I don't know how to help someone process that. This is the person you were going to spend the rest of your life with, and they're gone. The person that you cherish the most. I don't have an answer to... I have an answer to how to start to process it, but to like move through that completely, I don't have the answer to that. The goodbye hurts, but I think the flashbacks and the fantasy of the future hurts the most. Yes. Stop living in delusion. Connect to reality. Right? You guys, you know why it couldn't have worked out. Don't keep fantasizing about the future. It's non-existent. Focus on your existing future, which is processing this, and finding a girl who truly cares about you and is not going to repeat the cycle. Excuse me. Should I go to Guatemala and climb a volcano? As long as it's not a live volcano, yeah, probably pretty cool. Diego said, what do you do if you can't answer? Well, I always have some sort of answer, right? It's like I have something to start with. But if I don't have like a full answer, I'll just make it clear, like, hey, I may not specialize in that, but here's like a starting place. How can you life coach at 19? No, I'm not 19. Nice try, though. Okay, so when is a good time to start dating someone else? When should I know I'm healed? Because I can't stay in this attachment, but I don't want to hurt someone. Yeah, if you're still thinking about your ex every single day, don't get into another relationship. When you're in the place where you feel more connected to yourself, like you feel like you've, in the most part, have processed this relationship, she's not really crossing your mind anymore, and you've actually taken the lessons and started to create things in your life more, that's how you know you're more in a place to, start to date again, right? And there's no strict time frame for that. It's all personalized. Why do I feel like I'm grieving my grandma even though she hasn't passed away? Well, that's a good question, because you know the fragility of life and that she's in her 80s and the time will come somewhat soon. So that's where your mind is trying to mentally prepare itself for the loss, right? Most important thing to do here, don't ignore those thoughts. It's okay to have them. Just connect to reality, that she's still in front of you. You can have conversations. You can connect with her. You can hug her, right? Don't forget about that part, and keep going through that. Jack said, you're 18, bro. I'm not 18. Try again. Liana said, hi, Brad. Are you against feminism or something? Am I against feminism? Well, feminism is an entire movement, so I can't really say I'm for or against it because I don't support any full movement. Am I in support of women who can make their own decisions and they're not reliant on a man? 100%. But there are many aspects of feminism that have convinced women that they don't need men, and that's a lie. But here's the thing, it goes two-way street. Men need women too. So here's the dynamic that we've gotten into. Strong, independent women. This is not a bad thing, right? Because you don't have to rely on somebody else. Beautiful. Here's the problem that it gets into. You still have emotional needs that you can't biologically meet by yourself. You need somebody in partnership to do that. It's only biology and psychology, right? People try to reject that. So that's kind of, I guess, people try to reject that and say, oh no, it's okay, I don't need a man or I don't need a woman, and that's a lie. Now, that being said, like for right now, if you're single, that's completely fine. But yeah, you asking me the question of like, am I for or against feminism? There's a lot that goes into that, so I don't subscribe to movements. So if you ask me a more particular question of hey, are you against this particular thing? I can answer that question, but that's my general answer of that. Um, you're saying yes, but they aren't only rejecting that though. Yeah, what else do you feel like there's being rejected? Because of course there's a lot for everything. Does the politics define your present and future? It can, but it really depends. Most of the time, you're not controlling politics. Yeah, you can cast your vote, but you're not choosing what people do. So don't focus on things that are in your control. That's the best thing for you to do. Bray said, "Hi, Brad. You have a nice perspective. Let me follow you. Appreciate you." What do you do as a life coach? I help people with self growth, dating, relationships, spirituality, confidence, insecurities, communication, creativity, finding the work that's optimal for them, finding their passions. I do a lot as a life coach. I have a men's group, I have a women's group, I do one-on-one sessions. I do a lot of different stuff. Hannah said, "I have friends for that connection. We do not need men." Hannah, you look like you're in your late 20s, so there's still time for you to change your perspective. And I urge you to do so because your friends do not meet your romantic relationship connections. That's why there's romantic relationships and that's why there's friendships, and they're in separate categories because your friends can't meet your romantic needs and your romantic partners can't meet your friendship needs, right? That's why both of these relationships exist. Marriage would not exist and sex would not exist and procreation would not exist if you don't need men. So please, don't lie to yourself. It's very destructive. Let's see. Blank, the expectations of women to stay at home, greater opportunities equals freedom. Yes, absolutely. What about... Oh, you're 37, Hannah. Yeah, you look like you're in your, I mean, from your profile picture, you look like you're in your late 20s. So, yeah, you're welcome. What about those who don't feel romantic or sexual feelings? Like, can platonic relationships not be enough? I mean, look, there's always exceptions. Like obviously, there's interesting things like that where people find themselves not attracted to people. In scenarios like that, I think it's different. But for 99.5 or 99.9% of human beings that exist, they're attracted to each other, right? So in the general sense, you need romantic relationships to be fully fulfilled. Need and want are two different things, buddy. Absolutely, I agree, Hannah. But if you look at basically all psychological research, like there's a reason that people who don't have families and get into their 40s and 50s and they're single, there's a reason they get very lonely. There's a reason they become bitter. There's a reason that there's the angry grandpa who's single, or the uncle who's, he's the cool uncle, but then he goes and cries his eyes out when he's home by himself and not with his nieces and nephews because he never built a family of his own. He gave up because he was hurt a few times. So Hannah, look, part of the reason as to why people think they don't need romantic relationships is because they've been hurt before. And that hinders not your desire for love, but what you think is real. Right? And so it's a coping mechanism to convince yourself, I don't need a relationship. No, that's not for me. No, you want deep love and connection, just like I do, just like every human being does. Don't reject that part of yourself. What's going on, Walter? Why so many mad people, lol. Yeah, a lot of people are mad. What made me an expert to be a life coach? I was diagnosed with depression at 13, dealt with it until I was, until someone on YouTube made a comment. Till I was 16, and then I've been studying psychology, philosophy, spirituality over the last 7 years of my life. I've worked with over 100 men and women in my coaching practice, so help people change their lives all the time. Tiara said, "Is your eye color real?" It is. My mother gave me these eyes. Thanks for clarifying, Sonico. I was asexual, so I was curious about what you meant. Yeah, absolutely. Idea said, "What is your advice to men about blank?" Good question. Doctors say it's healthy to do it a few times a week. I don't do it in a one-size-fits-all thing because everybody's body and mind and biology is different. But for example, I went a year and a half without doing it. It allowed me to get a lot more in tune with myself. Here's the reality: most men can't control themselves. They feel stuck. Their sexuality guides them, and they have no mind of their own. I don't want to say not entirely, but that guides them more than their brain, right? And so if you can't put down that, you can't go a week without doing it, you're addicted. Now, if you can go more than a week without doing it, and you do it once in a while, be my guest. I'm not here to demonize it. But when you're addicted to something, you're addicted to something, and most men are addicted to it without even knowing it. Do you think everyone deserves a significant other and should have a significant other? I believe so. Advice for 20s want to pursue career abroad. Well, it's a very exciting opportunity. Um, you can meet new people, you get to experience new cultures, and you're in your early 20s. You got time, right? People on YouTube are asking what chat I'm talking to. We have TikTok live over here. Let's see. When the palm, what? Hold on. Thanks for answering. Yeah, of course. What's going on, Mark? How you been? Walter said you live abroad. Cool. What's the best career abroad? What are some options for a regular? I mean, look, I can't tell you what career is right for you. I don't know anything about you, what you're pursuing, right? But what are some of the things you're interested in? It could be a good place to start. Small town said I'm addicted to blank and I can't stop. You can stop. You just have to start to do it in smaller components and smaller capacities. Stop trying to cold turkey it. It can actually be dangerous to cold turkey it. Walter said a retired Air Force. Thanks for your service. You want to travel and be free. Welcome in, everybody. Mark said, do you help your clients find partners? I absolutely do. Help them approach people, get to know themselves, have conversations, have good first dates, have good dating experience, connect more to their values, their vision, how to engage in conversations with their partner. So yeah, I help my clients with a lot of stuff like that. You want to be president. Good for you. Your goal is Oxford. How do I keep confidence in the interviews? Well, if you're close to that point, you're getting interviews for it, you're exceptionally intelligent. Lean into that. Don't question yourself. What's my favorite part about being a life coach? That's a good question. My favorite part is getting to help people with things that they've been struggling with for a long time and seeing their life change in the most positive way possible. There's nothing that gives me more fulfillment than that. Helping people actually seeing that change in them, say, hey, like I lost this weight, or I found my relationship partner, or I finally feel connected to myself, or I'm finally confident, I finally started to talk to women, whatever the case is. I finally had this conversation with my wife when she's been nagging me. Like, this makes me feel so fulfilled. And also, like, the TikTok lives make me feel fulfilled too. Like, when you guys ask for advice, and then you come into the live 2 days later and say, hey, remember me from the other day? You gave me advice on the relationship. Hey, I had the conversation and it really helped. Like, that makes me feel so good because it shows me that I'm actually making a difference for you guys. And I appreciate when you guys show me that. Pep said, you're single and you're searching for something real. Good. Connect to your values. Don't settle for anything less. Brad, do you prefer blank daily or to do a backflip on command? I don't think that's a legitimate comment. I don't understand that. What's my passion? My passion is coaching. My passion is playing the drums. And I overall have a passion for like just the idea of creativity. Like anything that we're creating, taking an idea and putting it into reality practically is like, I'm just passionate about anything like that. Girlfriend of 8 years left. I've been in isolation for 6 months. Okay, Nate, I appreciate you walking me through this. This is not an easy place to be in, especially after being in a relationship for almost a decade and not working out. You've been in isolation for 6 months. Dude, shoot me a DM about this, Nate. Walk me through this, because I really want to help you out here, right? I can shoot you over some lecture material. We can have some conversation in the DMs. I'll give you some small practical, actionable steps that'll genuinely help you, so that you don't feel as isolated and you can start to process this because it's not easy. What's going on, Colleen? What do I think about the army? You mean like if you were to go in the army? What's the cause for the male loneliness epidemic? That's a good question. I think in large part, men aren't taught to be men. Like, I'll give you a very practical example. Like, think about the modern day school system. You go in, you sit down for 7 hours a day. Men are rambunctious. Men are like, women are a lot better at like sitting down and intellectualizing things. Men have a high testosterone, right? So they're moving around all the time. And as a young man, when you're forced to just sit down, only speak when you're spoken to, and raise your hand, it domesticates you. It indoctrinates you. You only do what you're told. You don't develop thoughts of your own. So then men can't initiate things. They can't be leaders. They can't feel in tune with themselves. They don't find their purposes. They don't find their passion. So they become lonely and isolated. And then they feel stuck because really nothing in the school system actually prepares you for your real life. Most people leave high school completely unequipped to experience reality. We're like dogs on leashes. It's actually pretty sad. And let me look. Most parents get divorced too. So most people's parents aren't giving them a healthy role model of masculinity or femininity either. Right? So people are disconnected on all fronts. So I think that's a part of like the male loneliness epidemic. Kenny said, how do I become a life coach? Shoot me a DM about that. You've been working out for 20 days and more consistently, but this day I can't help. I mean, dude, just Heisenberg, if you feel like you can't work out today, like you can't get yourself to the gym, do a home workout for 15 minutes. Do a few push-ups. Just do something, right? You don't always gotta go. You don't gotta do everything. Oh wait, are you saying for 20 days more consistently? Yeah. That's what I would say to that. This is a really good question, actually, Puffy. How do you know you're with the wrong? How do you know you're right with the wrong person? How do you know if you're with the right person? Oh, okay. So there's no ultimatum, one size fits all answer to this, but to start to interact with it with you. If your core values and vision of you and your partner are in aligned and you show up for that every single day, constantly together, you're showing you guys, yourselves, and each other practically you're committed to each other. If your girl is nagging you all the time, she doesn't respect that you're ambitious, or as a woman, your man doesn't give you enough attention and he refuses to hold space for you when you're emotionally processing something, like this is how you know the relationship is incongruent, right? You know, guys, it sounds like cliche advice. I didn't believe it, like, because especially for coaching wise, like it's not very practical for the idea of like, you know when you know. I actually, for all of my relationships, believed like, no, you don't know when you know. Like it's deeper than that, and it is. But with my current partner, compared to every girl I've ever been with prior, I just know, right? And so, in some capacity, you'll just know. But the things I said before that, that's a little bit more on the practical stuff. You're struggling with academic stress. Do you have any tips? You're probably struggling with academic stress because you're putting too much work on your plate, and you're not breaking it down into small chunks. You're trying to study for 8 hours a day. Stop trying to do that. Break it down into small chunks. Schedule out time to do things. And give yourself space to yourself for hobbies, for passions, for things that are not work-related. Work hard, but don't overwork yourself. And don't wait till the last minute to procrastinate things. Then Karen said, what is the cause for the female loneliness epidemic? Because a lot of men, no one's ever asked this question. That's a good question. What's the cause for the female loneliness epidemic? I don't want to say most men, but a lot of men, since they're so disconnected from themselves based on the male loneliness epidemic, they feel like men and women are at war with each other nowadays. Constantly, men are saying, all women are this, women are saying, all men are that. I don't need no man. I don't need no woman. Like, everyone's saying this. So it's largely speaking people's own perceptions that are destroying this. But at the same time, there's certain men that feel like they can't have long-term relationships, so they kind of use women. They like, they sleep with them, they have a few dates, love bomb you, kind of move on. But that's also both ways. Here's actually a cause of the female loneliness epidemic that you guys probably have never thought of. If you're an attractive woman and you go on a dating app, you have a lot of options, but you don't actually, right? Because if you're, let's say you're a woman, you're attractive, you go on a dating app and there's 100 new matches from a guy from different guys when you wake up in the morning. 99% of them just want to use you, and 1% of them maybe actually wants a relationship, is interested in you. So people think that there's more options than there actually are, especially when it comes to social media. This is why people cheat on their one of the many reasons as to why people cheat on their relationship partners. They think they have other options, and the grass is greener. Now, if you feel that way about your relationship, you're either in the wrong relationship or you guys aren't honest with each other and you're not committed to each other. But those are, I guess, a few of the things of the female loneliness epidemic. But same thing for men. Like, there's not that many mothers that are feminine and nurturing and leading women to lean into that. So a lot of people are lonely because they're just fighting each other. All right, let's see. My comments keep moving. Sorry if I'm missing your comments, guys. Hold on. Already got to that. Already got to that too. Primary school only teaches you to follow the rules and be a worker. Absolutely. You're gooning too much? Shoot me a DM about that, Andy. We already answered that question. Brad, how are you doing? I'm a little tired today, but I'm okay. How are you, Artie? Walter said, should men and women really be together? If we want life on planet Earth to keep growing and not become extinct, then the answer would be yes. Look, are there certain men and women that shouldn't be dating? Yeah, certain people are destructive. But in the general sense, should men and women really be together? Yes, that's why we were built to be together. That's why when a man and woman come together, you create life. We are built to be together. It's not just a preference that people like to... Like someone who was in this TikTok live earlier when I was talking about relationships, she's like, there's a difference between a want and a need. It's like, bro, relationships are not a want. They are essential for fulfillment. Psychology proves this time and time again. Puffy said, are all men these days liars and cheaters? Absolutely not. Just the ones that you're talking to. Other than procreating the species, absolutely. You have emotional needs, you have spiritual needs, you have romantic needs. And you like there's so much just beyond procreating that like if for people who have never experienced a fulfilling romantic relationship, it's easy to say like other than procreating, what do relationships do? Because you've never experienced love. You know what love does? Love is transformative. Love allows you to feel like your insecurities aren't that bad anymore. Love allows you to accept the parts of yourself you never thought you would be able to accept. Love allows you to take that guilt and the shame and throw it out the window. Love allows you to truly be in connection with somebody else and reach the best version of yourself in this lifetime. Love is not just for procreating, right? So if you reject all of those aspects of love, you're rejecting your humanity, you're rejecting your soul, you're rejecting all of your needs. And it's always a bad idea to do that. So yes, other than procreating the species, there's so many reasons for it. How to not overthink life if people looked at me like seconds I'm starting to think that there's something wrong with me. When you say people looked at me like seconds, well, what do you mean by that? Can you break that down for me? Any life advice for me who is an INFJ and my life path 11 Aquarius? I don't know the astrology Aquarius life path 11 stuff. But where are you at in your life? What are you trying to get closer to? What's going on, Ella? I'm doing good. How about yourself? Welcome back in. Let's see. Hold up. We got more questions coming in. What's going on, Islet? How are you? Let's see. Wait, I saw that one TikTok of you. Why are my eyes close together? I've never gotten that comment before. I say the most disgusting personal stuff about people when I'm mad and then regret it every time. Okay, Beef. You're not in tune with your emotions. You haven't developed a deep enough relationship with yourself. Right? You start to use all of the things people were vulnerable and open. They were vulnerable and open about the information about them, and they gave that to you. They trusted that you're going to keep that safe. And whenever you have a disagreement on something, you start to cast that against them. It's not maturity, right? That's not something that's beautiful. That's not something that's in tune, right? So if you regret it every time, right? So you have your humanity intact. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just that the anger gets out of hand. I'm gonna have to go one and one. Oh, I'm not leaving, but I just have to unlock my door real quick. Give me a second. Wait. Oh, that's Brent. All right. So that's what I would say of that.
Did you just get back?
Yeah, I guess so.
I was so excited to see.
Ghost said, yeah, it's a crazy comment. Bro, you helped me get a girl. I love to hear it.
Wow.
We have hate comments from the video, so I don't really want you in the camera. I don't trust them.
Okay.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Feel free to throw some more questions down below.
What are we eating soon?
Oh yeah, it's 5:30. I forgot about that. I don't know where we're going or what we're doing. I was just casually like.
Who? Your brother?
Yeah. I wouldn't trust them either. Yeah, Islet. We have a TikTok video blowing up, and people misinterpreted what I said, and there's like 50 plus reaction videos from people like completely taking what I said out of context and saying horrendous things about what I said, but I didn't actually say that. So there's people in this comment section that are saying like, don't do this and say this about women, and it's not at all what I said. So I just ignore those comments. But since things are pretty heated, I don't want my girlfriend in the frame because I don't trust people. I've had people who are people threatening and stuff like that. So we're keeping things safe for now. Here's some. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. All right, welcome in everybody. Yeah, it's all right, Islet. She's not involved in it, so it's really just like content for me. But I don't want her in the frame because I don't trust people to know who she is. Yeah, I deleted you off. Like I had you like pinned on some of my other social medias, but I took you down. I took you down on everything.
Yeah, people are gonna think we broke up.
Yeah. Liana said you guys are cute. Appreciate it. Stay positive and keep doing what you're doing. Appreciate you, Liana. People are always ruining things, absolutely. Yeah, so I'll actually fill you guys in on it. So I made a video. There's this new trend. This is basically what I said in the video. There's a trend going around of women saying men aren't lonely enough. And my response to that in the video was, do you know what happens when men are lonely? They become destructive. They become words I can't even say on here, right? And people took that way out of context and said that I can't even explain the video further than that. Like it's like it would get flagged on here. I can't even say it. Wild stuff. Welcome in everybody. Feel free to throw some questions down below. Jack's calling me. Can you call him? Thanks.
Bro, I texted him for a reason. Like, if you weren't busy, you would text him. Like,
Yeah.
why?
I told him I'm on TikTok Live too. It's a cool outfit. I like that outfit.
Huh?
I like that outfit.
Now it's calling me. Hello?
That's what happens when you discuss real matters with people with low IQs. Absolutely.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I can be ready now.
Where are we? What are we doing?
I don't know. What's the plan? What do we do? Like,
Good morning, good evening, and good night. I'm going to sleep now, so have a
Sure,
great day.
darn.
You too, Liana. It's like you ever watch the Truman Show? He goes, "Good
When
morning,
he's
good
done,
evening,
are you
and
going
good
now?
night." Because not one thing you just
How long
said
do you
sounded
need?
harsh or out of the ordinary. Gosh, what?
How long do you need? Jack said he's
Oh,
ready
to
now. But
I'll head off of TikTok live in 10 minutes, so then I'll be ready at like 5:50, 5:55.
can you give us like 20 minutes?
A little more than 20 minutes. It's 5:26. I thought you wouldn't get the reference. Of course I get the reference. Truman Show is one of my favorite movies of all time.
So we're not going anywhere nice? Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I love the Truman Show. We're living in the Truman Show.
Should he
It's,
pick
it's
us up?
reality. Should he pick us up?
Yeah.
I mean, if he wants to.
Sure. Alright, bye.
Donated $5. Appreciate you,
He
bro.
said nowhere nice, like Mata? What's it?
That's the Asian place we always get.
Do you have a jacket I can wear?
I have lots of jackets you can wear.
I'll just go like this.
Okay.
Because Sophie said she didn't have any nice clothes either.
Alright. Alright, let's get some final questions here. Cody, what's going on? Hi, Brad. Sent you a DM last live. Hope to hear from you. Appreciate what you're doing. Cody, I responded to someone named Cody yesterday. Maybe it was a different Cody. Cody, if I did not get back to your DM yet, please do me a favor and shoot me a DM right now so it goes to the top of my inbox. I want to make sure I get to you. Oh my god, what's going on? What's going on, bro? How to get life coach Brad to respond to his WhatsApp? Dude, I apologize. I had what's it called? I have like 3 other clients that I haven't gotten back to. I gotta get back to you, bro. I apologize. Last 2 days have been very long. Dude, can you shoot me a message on WhatsApp again so it bumps to the top for me? I'm not trying to ignore you, bro. I appreciate you so much. Dude, I literally have the website open right now. Literally right here. Dude, it looks awesome. Awesome. I really appreciate you. Jordan, what's going on? That's a good question. Why am I never satisfied? Because you're chasing things in hopes that it'll satisfy you to meet your wants and not your needs. Right? You're trying to satisfy parts of yourself that are insatiable. Right? So start to find things that actually fulfill your soul. So here's just a reflection question for you, Jordan. To just create some space, give yourself like 15 minutes, put your phone down. What could I start to do in my life that would genuinely fulfill my soul? It's a deep question to ask. You're going to want to see what comes up. What do you think about giving people from the... Yeah, what do you think about giving to people from the heart without expecting anything back? That is what true kindness is, and it has to be that. Do not expect anything from anyone. You have desires for people to reciprocate these things, but don't ever expect it. Now, when it comes to relationships with people, you can have a one-sided relationship. But for strangers, absolutely, do things out of the kindness of your heart. Don't expect anything in return. It's a great way to have good karma come back to you and just to feel better about yourself and to genuinely make a difference in the world. How do you manage and navigate friendships as an adult with so many factors in the way? Your genuine friendships as an adult should not require high maintenance. You should not have to text them multiple times a week all the time. Your adult friendships go like, hey, if we hang out, like because of our work schedules and because of the distance between us, let's say we hang out with each other once every month or once every month and a half, and maybe we text once or twice in between that. Some of the friends that I feel the closest with, I see them once every 6 months because we live a few states away, and I feel more connected to them than the people I see more often. So true friendships do not require high maintenance, right? If you guys are both texters, you can text each other, but just because someone isn't texting you doesn't mean they don't care. So navigating friendships, have an open conversation about, hey, we're both super busy and we respect that. So I'll call you up when I want to hang out with you. You can do the same. And in between that space, happy building, happy living your life, right? It's like they don't have to be super manageable. Walter said, good answer. I'm glad it resonated. You're afraid of your financial future. I think everybody is. It's always uncertain, right? Constantly keep working. That's awesome. I know you're occupied, bro. Definitely send you a DM. All love. Yeah, much love, bro. Appreciate you. Chan said, is this live? Well, I'm answering all the live questions coming in the chat, so of course it's live. What are some ways? All right, we got about 5 more minutes on the TikTok live, so guys, throw your questions down below. I'm gonna get to as many as possible in the next 5 minutes. What are some ways a person could increase their confidence? Ask yourself this question, Isla. You remember? I was gonna say you remember. I don't know why I said you remember. Ask yourself this question. If I were the most confident version of myself tomorrow, how would I act? What would I think? What would I say? What would I do? Who would I talk to? That's going to give you a good starting place. Great advice on the friendships question. Yeah, of course. Okay, thank you. But I also do it with friends because I love giving when I can. Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's like natural give and take in friendships and relationships. There shouldn't be expectations. Like it's like, hey, you go out to dinner with a friend of yours, you pay for them. You shouldn't expect them to pay for you for dinner next time. I've seen people in these dynamics where it's like I paid for my friend last time, they didn't offer to pay for me next time. It's like you saw him 2 months later. Like, why are you holding this against someone? Like, what's going on here? Why do I get scared then when someone is interested in getting to know me? You're afraid that they're going to see the parts of you that you don't accept within yourself. Right? It feels quite dark. So it feels like you want to sabotage the situation. They're going to get too close. They're going to see the real me. It's like, good. Now you won't have to feel guilty and shameful because they accept it. It's working on creating a space to share that and see if people accept you for it. Depending on what it is, they usually will. Taito said, if you're winning too much, should you deliberately fail to remind yourself what it's like? Absolutely not. Life will always give you challenges. Don't intentionally put barriers in your own way. Not a good idea. For someone who's usually in relationships and is trying to focus on themselves, how to avoid people who are my type, but I'm not ready for a relationship with. For someone who's usually in relationships trying to focus on themselves, well, here's the thing. Self-growth and growing in life, if you're with the right person in a relationship that you're genuinely attracted to and fulfilled by, they help you do that. My girlfriend teaches me things all the time. Not necessarily by through conversations and new concepts, but also very much indirectly. Through random occurrences. Right? And it's like, if you guys are that much connected to each other and both focused on growth in your individual lives, and then you bring that together, beautiful experience. But yeah, don't try and avoid people that are your type. But also, if you don't feel like you're ready to be in a relationship, don't put yourself in positions where you're going on dates. That's what you genuinely feel. Elle, what's going on? Welcome back in. Hey, do you think people can change their thinking/brain chemistry? How long till they do? Yes, I do believe people can, but it has to be out of genuine desire. And a lot of people don't change because they don't really want to. They don't know how. So it depends on the person. It's not really a matter of time. It's not a time conversation. It's a commitment conversation. Is this person focused on actually solving the problems in the relationship? Solving the parts of themselves that are holding them back? If the answer is yes, it's not going to be very long. But if they're just like, they have to change their behavior. And that changes the thoughts and ideas that come in as well. And you can also intentionally, consciously change your thoughts. That's important too. Oh, and Elle, I'm going to mention this one last time because I don't want to smother you in any way, shape, or form. There's a few women on this TikTok live right now that are in the women's group. You asked some really good questions. I'd love to have you in there. It's completely free. We meet Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, Elle, if you want to be in the women's group, I think you massively benefit from it. Shoot me a DM about it. If not, keep asking some great questions. Islet said, well, I actually have seen this happening before. I just didn't think about it. Yeah. Do you think blank... Oh my God. My wife passed away 15 years ago, and I put my whole life into raising my son. I'm sorry to hear you lost her, but I'm glad you've still been able to push forward. These are some really introspective topics. I love it. Yeah, really good questions coming in. Really good questions coming in. All right, everybody. I got to hop off the live. I got to go out to dinner. I love you guys very much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your questions. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to be here. And to ask for help to dive into this stuff. Anybody who's interested in coaching, I always do a free intro coaching session. I run a men's group, and I also have a women's group that's completely free to join currently. There's about 30 women in that group. So, hey, appreciate you, Islet. See you on Monday. I love you guys very much. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. If I did not get to your question on this TikTok live, shoot me a DM about it. And looking forward to connecting with you guys very soon. You'll try to make it. I'll send you a message. Sounds good, El. Looking forward to connecting in the DMs. I'll see you guys very soon. See you guys for the TikTok live tomorrow. Peace out, everyone. And I'll see you